Master of Tourism and Travel Management. Tasks of a professional manager. As a participant in this program of Masters in Tourism Studies and Management, you are either a practicing manager or are aspiring to be one. Your first concern, therefore, is to know the tasks which you are expected to fulfill as a professional manager. There is a lot of confusion over the much widely used terms professional management and professional managers. Some researchers contend there is nothing like professional management. Management is a discipline. There are practitioners of this discipline who practice management as a profession and thus are professional managers. Just as there are doctors and lawyers by profession, similarly, there are professional managers. As doctors practice medicine, managers practice management. The only difference between professional managers and other professionals is that while the latter must possess a formal degree in their discipline, a professional manager need not have a formal degree or education in management. He or she may have learned the necessary skills and gained competence from one's own experience. The second characteristic of a professional manager is that his or her primary concern is the organization or the company with which one works. This may be in the private or public sector or in a multinational company. A professional manager always has the company's overall perspective in mind, and all the actions are guided by the company's objectives irrespective of the managerial level one is working at. The third most important characteristic of a professional manager is that he or she is responsible for performance. Managing involves collecting and utilizing resources, money, men, materials, and machines in the most optimal manner for which achievement of some predetermined objectives or results. It is the professional manager's responsibility to utilize resources to produce the required results. Responsibility and performance are really the key words in defining a manager's role. Performance implies action, and action necessitates taking specific steps and doing certain tasks. Let us first take up the various tasks which a manager is expected to do produce results. A manager can be compared to the captain of a ship who has first to set the course to reach the destination and then steer the ship along the course. Similarly, a manager has to first of all set objectives which the firm must achieve. Objectives provide the direction in which the firm must move. Having decided upon the objectives, the manager must constantly monitor the progress and activities of the firm to ensure that it is moving in the desired direction. This is the first and foremost task of every manager. If you are a part of the top management team, then you will be very actively involved in this task through the process of defining the mission and objectives for the entire organization. If you are a manager, reporting to the top manager, it is your task to see that the actions of the people who work for you in your department or division are in the desired direction. It is your task as a manager to prevent all such actions which take your company away from the direction set by the top management. All action and decisions must be evaluated on the basis of the contribution towards achievement of the company's objectives. However, this should not give you the idea that objectives or direction once set will hold good for all times to come, or that any movement away from the current line of production or activity is always undesirable. The key point is that all movements and actions must be consistent with achievement of the objectives. To ensure consistency, it is important that the manager carefully thinks through each alternative course of action and evaluates its potential to contribute towards attainment of objectives. Managing survival and growth. Survival of the fittest is the law of the jungle, which is equally applicable to the competitive marketplace where firms struggle and fight for survival. Ensuring survival of the firm is a critical task of the manager, but that alone is not enough. The manager has also to actively seek growth. No matter how big or powerful a firm may be today, it is sure to be left behind in the race by newer, healthier, and more efficient firms if it does not pursue growth. Two sets of factors impinge upon the firm's survival and growth. The first is the set of factors which are internal to the firm and are largely controllable. These internal factors are choice of technology, efficiency of labor, competence of managerial staff, company image, emphasis on customer care, financial resources, etc. The second set of factors influencing the firm's ability to ensure survival and growth are those which are external to the firm and over which it has little or no control. These external environmental factors refer to government policy, laws, and regulations, changing customer tastes, attitudes, and values, increasing competition, or even natural calamities. For example, tourism to India has adversely affected because of the epidemic in Surat, and many tourism firms suffered heavy losses because of cancellations. Maintaining firms' efficiency in terms of profit generation. Efficiency is the ratio of output to the input. A manager has not only to perform and produce results, but to do so in the most efficient manner possible. To produce results, a manager requires inputs in the form of money, men, materials, and machines. The more output that the manager can produce with the same input, the greater will be the profit generated. Profit is the surplus or difference the manager can generate between the value of inputs and outputs. Profit is essential for the survival of growth of any business. A manager may decide to forego some profit today for the profits which are being sought for tomorrow. But in the long run, one must understand that no business can survive if it does not make profits. Business activity is undertaken to satisfy a need of the society in a manner which yields profits. A business is not a philanthropic or charitable activity which is run merely to provide some goods and services, irrespective of whether it is making a profit. Profit generated can be used for expansion, upgrading of technology, growth, or paying dividends. Profits are one of the cheapest sources of financing growth, as they involve no interest liability, nor putting the freedom at stake by having representatives of financial institutions sit on your board of directors. Profit gives you the cushion to take risk, think big, and venture into relatively unknown areas. A profitable firm can turn unprofitable because of obsolete technology, inability to meet high fixed cost structures, high levels of wastage, or simply because the product or service is no longer in demand by customers.